Hello and welcome to Bathurst Regional Council's digital resource, explaining how our drinking water system is managed. Have you ever wondered where we get our water from? Come with me and we'll have a bit of a look.
Today, David is going to take us on a virtual tour with staff from Council's water team, and we'll learn how Council manages the supply of safe drinking water. This is the Bathurst Drinking Water Management System. What is the source of Bathurst drinking water supply? In other words, where does it come from? How raw water is drawn into and treated at the water filtration plant to become drinking water? How drinking water is distributed to properties for use, and how Council supports the community to conserve water. We come to you from Wiradjuri country, home of the people of the three rivers, the Womble, also known as the Macquarie, the Lachlan or Kalari, and the Murrumbidgee, which has retained its original name. These people, whose knowledge and history continues to inform how we protect and manage our waterways, have also informed us on how we can better connect with the land around us. Let's get started by setting the scene and also explaining some key terms as we go. In this beautiful part of the Central West, Bathurst Regional Council manages the Bathurst local government area, which is home to a growing population of over 44,000 people and covers 3,820 square kilometres, including an urban centre and surrounding agricultural land. Approximately 38,000 people rely on Council's drinking water supply.
Council is responsible for managing the water supply system that provides drinking quality water to close to 18,000 residential and 1,700 non-residential properties, including schools and businesses. The water supply system includes everything from the untreated water source right through to customer taps. Treatment of raw water occurs at the water filtration plant and is pumped into the drinking water distribution network. This distribution network is made of over 350 kilometres of water mains or main pipes and includes 31 individual reservoirs across 23 sites and 12 pump stations.
To be considered of safe drinking quality, water must meet specific established health guidelines and comply with relevant legislation, policies and plans. We'll learn more about these later. This water supply system diagram shows how water flows into, through and beyond the water treatment process to become water that we drink, cook, clean and wash with. You can see here there are quite a few steps in the process. Let's start at the beginning, the source.
When we talk about the source of our drinking water supply, we first look to the catchment, or the land on which the rain falls and flows into the dams, rivers and creeks which supply us, agriculture and the natural environment with water. In our region, the Fish River flows from the southeast. The Campbell's River, also flowing from the southeast, flows into Chifley Dam and beyond that joins the Fish River to Macquarie Womble River.
Good catchment management is the starting point of ensuring drinking quality water. There are several catchments in the Bathurst region, including Chifley catchment, which feeds into Chifley Dam, the purpose-built source of Bathurst's drinking water supply. Spread across both Bathurst and Oberon local government areas, Chifley Dam's catchment extends across nearly 1,000 square kilometres, mostly to the south of the dam, and has an annual rainfall of around 1,100 millimetres, which exceeds Bathurst's annual average of 630 millimetres. Other catchments drain into the Fish, Campbell's and Macquarie Womble rivers in and around Bathurst. Over 200 years of land clearing for farming, mining and building has impacted the health of catchments through pollution, sedimentation and the spread of weeds and pests, resulting in the loss of biodiversity. Council works with local landowners, other authorities and community groups in the catchments to improve the quality of water that flows into the dams and surrounding waterways, and to improve the health of the catchment environment for biodiversity and food production.
Management of catchments means using best practices and considering soils, rainfall, vegetation and climate to help determine the type and scale of appropriate activities, including agriculture, tourism, industry, forestry, recreation and urban development.
One of Council's management functions at Chifley Dam is the monitoring of water quality, including levels of blue-green algae. From time to time, there are algal blooms in the dam, and livestock and recreation alerts may be issued as a result. Environmental conditions favourable to blue-green algal growth include warm, sunny days and still bodies of water with low flow. High nutrient loads support the growth of blue-green algae and are influenced by human activities such as agricultural practices and septic management. Council carefully releases the best quality water from the dam into Campbell's River, and algae levels generally remain low in the river system.
From 1956, when the dam was first built, until 2001, Chifley Dam had a capacity of 16,000 megalitres. For scale, it is good to know that 1 megalitre is 1 million litres. 2.5 megalitres is the equivalent of one standard Olympic-sized swimming pool. After the dam wall was raised in 2001, capacity of the dam increased to 30,800 megalitres, which is equivalent to over 12,300 Olympic pools when full.
Council is responsible for managing the dam, with staff assigned to conduct frequent inspections and Council's ongoing investment in capital improvement works, asset protection and maintenance. In addition, Council staff monitor water quality, testing oxygen, algae, metals, microbiological and chemical elements.
With riparian or environmental release requirements and water supply needs to be met, Chifley Dam releases water into the Campbell's River. Water in the river system supports irrigation, livestock watering, fish stocks and natural biodiversity, recreational activities and drinking water supply. The river system does naturally filter water a little, but not to safe drinking water standards.
Raw water is untreated water and must go through a rigorous treatment process to meet safe drinking water standards. At Gormans Hill, some 17 kilometres downstream from Chifley Dam, is the water filtration plant. Built in 1972, this complex conventional treatment plant has the capacity to treat up to 60 megalitres per day of raw water of varying qualities to meet safe drinking water guidelines.
Let's take a look at how the plant works. Adjacent to the plant, a weir creates a pool in the Macquarie-Womble River, from which water is drawn into the filtration plant as needed via up to 4 11-metre pumps. Weir gates are lowered to flush out sand and silt to keep pumps working efficiently, and can be lowered during a flood to allow debris and sand to pass. On average, water is drawn daily at 8 to 12 megalitres in winter and up to 40 megalitres in summer.
Raw water from the weir pool contains colloids, or unwanted sediments, colour, algae and other harmful microorganisms which together create a cloudiness called turbidity.
The water treatment process shown here is used to treat raw water so it meets the Australian Drinking Water Guidelines. The main steps in the process are 50mm vertical bar screens for log and large debris removal, carbon dosing, coagulation and flocculation, sedimentation, iron and manganese oxidisation for removal, filtration, disinfection, pH adjustment and fluoridation. Carbon dosing occurs first to remove taste and odour issues and any algae-related toxins. From there, the next stage is coagulation and flocculation, and this starts when the river water is pumped into Rapid Mix Tank 1, where it is vigorously mixed with aluminium sulphate, known as liquid alum, which serves to clump together the tiny particles suspended in the water. This is coagulation. The pH and alkalinity can be adjusted here also if required, so the correct amount of alum can be dosed.
Next, in the flocculation stage, polymer is added to Rapid Mix Tank 2. Polymer is a chemical used to bind particles together, making them bigger and heavier, and this helps settle them in the sedimentation stage. 3 flocculation tanks of varying speeds follow, completing flocculation.
The next stage of treatment is sedimentation. As the water slowly flows into the sedimentation tanks from the flocculation tanks, the clumps and clusters of particles settle to the floor. This settled sludge is moved to one end of the sedimentation tanks using a large mechanical rake. The collected sludge is periodically released into settling lagoons. Sludge in the lagoons is gravity settled through sand and into underdrains at the bottom of the lagoon. The water above the sludge, supernatant, is taken back into the water filtration process. When the lagoon is full of sludge, it is taken offline. The sludge is left to drain and dry out naturally and is later taken to the Waste Management Centre for disposal. This process takes approximately 12 months and can be weather dependent.
After water flows from the sedimentation tanks, sodium hydroxide is used to adjust pH into the correct range. Sodium hypochlorite, liquid chlorine, is also added as an oxidant to change the soluble manganese into insoluble form so it can be filtered out in the next stage, filtration. Naturally occurring manganese historically resulted in discoloured water throughout the water supply system. But since this treatment step was added in 2015, this issue has largely been resolved.
The next stage is filtration. There are 14 sand filters which contain different sizes of media, which is used to filter out smaller particles, including manganese. The filtered water then drops into the reinforced concrete underground clear water storage tank beneath the main building to begin the disinfection stage.
On entering the clear water storage tank, the water is disinfected. Gaseous chlorine is used to kill any harmful organisms. pH is again adjusted and fluoride is added for dental health in accordance with New South Wales health guidelines. Water in fact moves through 2 connected clear water tanks here, allowing ample time for adequate disinfection to take place. Safe drinking water is then pumped from the treatment plant into the distribution network.
Managing the water treatment process takes skill, expertise and commitment. My guys work on weekends, public holidays, on call, which includes nights.
One of an operator's responsibilities is managing treatment chemicals. All chemicals are certified as safe to use for drinking water and widely used across the drinking water industry both in Australia and internationally. Careful receival, storage, use and disposal procedures are followed in accordance with best practice and hazardous goods safe handling requirements.
Health and safety is a critically important part of a plant supervisor's role, as they look after not just council staff, but also the many contractors engaged in ongoing maintenance of plant infrastructure. Electrical contractors and IT staff look after the programmable logic controllers, which automate the plant and provide real-time data, alerts and alarms to assist troubleshooting.
A telemetry system allows staff to monitor and control the treatment process in real time. Parameters that are monitored include water quality, chemical dosing rates, water levels, flow rates and equipment performance. This telemetry system also allows the plant to be securely controlled from a remote location.
Extensive water quality monitoring takes place throughout the entire water supply system. This includes a number of approaches, including sending samples to external accredited laboratories, using handheld monitoring equipment, testing at the water filtration plant in-house laboratory, and online monitoring through the telemetry system. Source water is tested both at Chifley Dam and in the Weir Pool for parameters such as turbidity, pH, blue-green algae and E. coli. This provides a better understanding of treatment required.
Operators undertake daily testing at the water filtration plant, which takes approximately 2.5 hours. This testing informs treatment decisions, ensures quality in the process, and informs results at various stages along the way.
Each week, operators take samples from multiple points throughout the supply network to verify the quality of the drinking water. These samples are sent to ANATA, National Association of Testing Authorities, laboratory for analysis, and the results are monitored by New South Wales Health. Drinking water customers benefit from improved water quality thanks to the rich data captured and analysed by technology and the rigorous testing protocols and procedures in place.
Let's find out how safe drinking water is distributed through the Bathurst Water Supply Network.
Drinking water is pumped from the clear water storage tank into Bathurst's distribution network. There are 3 main parts to the network: pipes, also known as mains, reservoirs and pump stations. Reservoirs play a key role in the drinking water supply system, both by storing water and balancing the water treatment plant's operating capacity with customer demand. Made from steel or concrete, or for smaller ones from polyethylene or fiberglass, reservoirs typically hold enough water for 3 days of supply in summer or 5 to 6 days in winter. Gravity is used to distribute water from reservoirs through the network to customers. Through the telemetry system, council staff monitor water levels in reservoirs to ensure they are within target capacity so there is no break in supply or low water pressure. In addition, Chlorine levels are monitored at key reservoirs using the remote integrated telemetry system. Reservoir cleaning and inspection occurs to a schedule, with staff checking that roof sheeting and roof bolts are secure, hatches are closed and locked, vermin proofing is in place, and that there is no evidence of vermin, all to minimise any risks of contamination.
A council-owned pipe, known as a water service, connects council's water mains to a customer water meter at each property. Through the water meter, water is connected to the property via another service, which is the responsibility of the property owner. Water meters monitor water use and help to identify leaks and other issues. Customers are charged according to water consumption and meter size. Council has a program to roll out smart meters across Bathurst, which represent another important upgrade to the water supply network. Smart water meters allow customers to track their water consumption through an online portal.
Drinking water is also supplied to customers such as water carters, rural residents and construction companies at a series of purpose-built bulk water filling stations at Hereford Street. To access these filling stations, customers must first register and obtain a permit through council. Water at these stations is available to these customers 24/7. In addition, there are a number of drinking water refill stations located in recreation precincts across Bathurst for refilling personal drinking bottles. On rare occasions, you might have seen water being flushed from the water mains. Old water, that is, water that sits in the water mains or pipes for long periods, is not desirable, and flushing is a strategy used to ensure fresh water is pulled into the network. Council has done much to minimise the need for flushing by replacing dead-end mains with ring mains, so water continues to circulate. Council has a quality assurance program in place that underpins every aspect of the water supply system. This is known as the Drinking Water Management System. Council works closely with New South Wales Health on the implementation of the Drinking Water Management System, which helps ensure safe water is provided to the community of Bathurst. The Drinking Water Management System adopts a holistic approach and is based on the Australian Drinking Water Guidelines and its 12 elements. These elements relate to key aspects of water supply management, such as organisational commitment, operational procedures, training, incident management, community involvement, and review, just to name a few. At the heart of the Drinking Water Management System are the critical control points, or key steps in the treatment process where it is imperative to be within the specified range.
The Drinking Water Management System is a tool Council uses to meet guidelines, legislation and policy requirements, and it is the foundation for strategic planning and continuous improvement.
Water is a precious and finite resource, and Council is committed to diversifying supply and implementing demand management measures, such as water restrictions when necessary, to conserve the drinking water supply for the Bathurst community.
Did you know Bathurst residential ratepayers use around 60% of Bathurst's water, with home water use heavily influenced by seasonal climatic conditions? For household users, water is used on average in the following ways: 15% used in the bathroom, 9% used in the kitchen, 10% in the toilet, 11% used in the laundry, and 55% is used on the garden or for other use. Commercial non-residential properties such as small businesses, shopping centres, the university, hospital and schools, along with large industrial businesses and council, use the remaining 40% of Bathurst's drinking water supply.
Agricultural users across Australia are major water consumers, responsible for nearly 2/3 of our consumption of raw water. This figure is reflected in our region, where water is required for the irrigation of food crops. Council uses untreated raw water and treated drinking water where necessary to maintain recreation areas, including sporting facilities, parks and signature gardens for community and visitor use. With a range of complex pressures on the available drinking water supply, Council must balance many, often competing needs to ensure that high-quality drinking water is consistently available for residents, businesses, community facilities, agriculture and other uses during dry times, as well as times of plentiful rainfall.
For future infrastructure, taking into consideration seasonal demand, long-term climate forecasts and population growth to ensure a sustainable water supply into the future for our community.
Good water management requires input from a range of highly qualified council staff who work each day to ensure water continues to be delivered across the community, as well as manage those forward planning challenges. We have now followed our drinking water from its source through treatment to distribution to our taps, and shown the many steps involved in testing, monitoring, treating and distributing safe drinking quality water to our community.
Thank you for joining us on our virtual tour. If you would like more information on our water supply, please visit Bathurst Regional Council's website.